Hello, my name is Kamal Haddad. This is our Phase 1 project for IS 231, titled an online food ordering system for campus cafeteria. Our main stakeholders are students, faculty members, cafeteria staff, university administration, and IT support. Currently, students and staff face long queues and delays in the cafeteria, especially during peak hours. The manual ordering process causes stress, wasted time, and inefficient for both customers and the cafeteria staff. Our purpose solution is a web and mobile based online for ordering system that allows students and faculty to browse the menu, place orders, pay online, and receive notifications when their food is ready. This system benefits everyone by reducing time, increasing productivity, improving satisfaction, and supporting the university digital transformation goals. We also analyze the system using the FERBS Plus model. It supports functions like ordering, payment, and notifications. It focuses too on usability with a mobile-friendly interface, ensures reliability with a high uptime, and is designed to handle a high traffic during business hours. In this slide, we are showing our use case diagram interaction between users, cafeteria staff, and the payment system, and the C4 system context diagram to show how the system fits within the university environment. This system will modernize the campus cafeteria and significantly improve the student experience. And as you see here, this is the case diagram that shows the main actors with their roles in each stage. Thank you.
Phase 2, prioritization and behavior details. First, we selected critical user stories such as browse menu, place order, pay online, receive notifications, update menu. Then we had user stories and acceptance criteria. We had 5 different user stories as examples, and each one with its own acceptance criteria. For example, user story 1, browse menu. As students, we want to view the cafeteria menu online so that we can choose food items before ordering. The acceptance criteria here is, given I am logged into the system, when I open the menu page, then I should see all available food items categorized by types: drinks, meal, desserts. And given new menu items are added when I refresh the menu, then the new item should appear automatically. We did the same for place order, pay online, receive notifications, and update menu. Then we go on to the sequence diagram, system sequence diagram. As you can see here, we have 3 objects or actors: a student, online food order system, and cafeteria dashboard. This is for placing a food order sequence diagram. The other ones are browsing cafeteria menu and online payment sequence diagram and order notification sequence diagram. The last is staff menu update. These all show different system sequence diagrams with all actors in systems.
So we're going to talk about the activity diagram. In this part of the project, I'm going to explain the activity diagram for our online food ordering system. The activity diagram is used to illustrate the workflow of how the user places an order and pays it online. It shows both user actions and system responses, including all the important decision points where the payment can either succeed or fail, as I will talk about later. And this diagram helps us understand the sequence of activities starting from the moment the user logs in all the way until the food is ready and notification is sent to the user. So we're going to explain the activity flow. So first we're going to talk about the user logins. The workflow begins when the user opens the application and logs in into his account. This step ensures that the user is authenticated and allowed to place an order. Then we move on to Browser's menu, which is after logging in, the user is taken to the main menu page where he can browse different food categories and items. This is a typical action in any online food ordering system. Then we move on to select items, which means the user selects the items they want to order, or the system records these items in a place which the user can later use when he goes to the checkout process. Then we move on to place his order. This one means once the user finishes choosing his items, they confirm their selection and proceed to place the order. This means it indicates that they are ready to move to the payment stage. Then we move on to proceeds to payment. This means after this point, the user is redirected to the payment page. Here, the user chooses a payment method and initiates the online transaction. Then we move on to the payment decision point, which I said we're going to talk about later. This is the most important part of the activity diagram. In the decision node, the system checks whether the payment was successful or if it failed. This is what we call a gateway. If a payment fails or is not successful, the system stops the order process and informs the user the order cannot be completed unless payment succeeds. So the flow ends there for the failed attempt. However, if the payment succeeds, the system confirms the order. This is a system response that tells the user their order has been accepted and is being prepared. Then after we finish the gateway, we move on to the order confirmation and notification. When the order is confirmed after a successful payment, this step basically ensures the cafeteria staff that they can, for example, prepare the food. They can start preparing the food. Then the notification sent when food is ready, which means finally after this, finally once the order is prepared and everything is finished, the system sends a notification to the user. This helps the user know when they can pick up their food. And this is basically the last step before the workflow ends. Then we move on to the end of the activity flow, which everything the process concludes here. The path from logging in, ordering food, completing payment, receiving notification is fully completed. Then we move to the last thing we're going to talk about, which is the updated glossary. In this section, I will explain the glossary items that are used throughout the project. These definitions help ensure that everyone understands the system and components very clearly. The order status refers to the current state of a customer's order. Typically, we have 3 main bullet points, which is maybe pending, where the order has been placed but the payment or confirmation is not completed yet. And we move on to paid, where the user has successfully made the payment and the order is being prepared. Then finally, ready for pickup, which the order is finished and ready for the customer to collect. Then on the second bullet point, which is dashboard, where it comes after the order status, is the interface used by the cafeteria staff. It allows them to view incoming orders and also track order progress. And it is essentially the control center for staff members. Then we move on to the second to last bullet point, or actually not the second to last, but the session, where is the active period where a user is logged into the system. It starts when the user logs in and ends when they log out of their session times. The session times out. This is used usually for security and to keep track of user activity. Then we move on to second to last, which is payment gateway. This is an external secure system that procures online transactions it handles. For example, verifying payment information and also communicating with banks. And this basically keeps the user payment data safe and encrypted. And in conclusion, notification, which is the last thing in the updated glossary. A notification is the message sent to the users to inform them about updates related to their order. For example, they get notified when their food is ready, or if there's a delay, or if extra information is needed. And why we need this? Because notification helps keeps us users informed throughout the entire ordering process.
In phase 3, my role was to define the system structure using CRC cards and a design class diagram. First, I identified the main classes and grouped them into UI classes, controller classes, and entity classes. The UI classes handle the screens users see. The controller managed the system actions, like creating orders or updating the menu. And the entity classes store the actual data such as users, menu items, and orders. Then I created the design diagram, which shows each class with the attributes and methods and how all classes connect to each other, as you can see over here. The diagram follows proper UML standards and clearly separates the interface layer, the logic layer, and the data layer. This completes the structural design for phase 3 and sets the foundation for system integration in phase 4.